Hey everybody, this is Adam with Everyday Retro Gaming, and I want to talk about why you should or should not buy a PlayStation Go in 2020. So the PsP GO was launched back in 2009, and I remember them talking about it, and I kind of jumped on the bandwagon with everyone else. It's like, well, I have this whole backlog of PSP games on UMD. Why would I want to buy this? Blah, blah, blah. And I was very much against it. I thought it was a neat idea, but I ended up never buying it because there was no way to transfer your games over unless you already bought them digitally. I'm not a big fan of buying stuff digital, so I tend to buy everything physical, or I buy as much as I can physical anyway. I mean, I guess I wasn't the target audience when this thing came out, and I'm not sure who really was, because by that time everyone that was going to get a PSP probably had one. You know, we're here in 2020, and carrying around a lot of PSP games is not ideal. And we're used to carrying our phones around, right? We're not carrying around a bunch of crap. If you're looking at a PSP in general or a PSP Go in 2020, I think the Go is a very good option. Actually, any of them is a good option if you're going to hack them. I'm not going to get into that, but hacking's super easy and you can put whatever you want on it, basically. If you're choosing between a PSP, like say a 2000, 3000, or the PSP Go, and you're not wanting to carry around a PlayStation 3 controller with you, I would stick with the PlayStation 2000 or 3000, plus they're cheaper. But if you are willing to deal with the smaller form factor and smaller, like cramped controls scheme, this could be a good option. I don't like the cramped controls, so I tend to play with a PlayStation 3 controller, which is a lot better. Certain games that are terrible to play on the PlayStation Portable, say Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier, terrible, horrible to control, but I played it with the PlayStation 3 controller and I liked the game. It was pretty enjoyable. I know a lot of people did not like the game, probably because the controls were so bad. Syncing a PlayStation 3 controller to the PSP Go is kind of a pain. You need a PlayStation 3, the link cable, and of course the PSP. If you have a PS3 and an extra controller lying around, it's definitely worth picking up a PSP Go over a PSP 2000 or 3000. So a good thing about the PlayStation Portable is that it comes with 16 gigs of onboard memory. So if you don't have to buy a card if you don't want to, you can expand that memory by up to 32 gigs with the M2 port on the side. That's another one of those Sony cards. I think I bought an 8 gig off of Amazon for about 20 bucks. You might be able to find them cheaper. You might be able to find a 32 gig version, but I'm not sure how legit that is. So clearly, to sync up with a PlayStation 3 controller, it needs Bluetooth. So a good thing about this thing, it has Bluetooth, and that works with headphones and a PlayStation 3 controller at the same time. I tend to use my Bluetooth headset with this, and it works great. I don't think there's any lag with it, and it works fine. But of course, if you don't want to use a Bluetooth headphones, there is a headphone jack on the bottom. So, hey, you're covered everywhere. If screen size is an issue, I would probably get a PlayStation 1000, 2000, or 3000 over the Go. The Go screen size is 3.8 compared to the PSP's 4.3. It's the same resolution, but just a little bit smaller screen. The smaller screen does make it a little bit more difficult to see objects, you know, racing games. Like I'm trying to play MotorStorm, I tend to run into a lot more stuff on the Go version than I do the PSP version. If you're looking to play a lot of the PSP games at home, I think the best option would be to get a PSP Go, and then if you're willing to, spend the money and get the docking station and then some cables out of the back. You can plug it into your TV. All this stuff is pretty expensive. I'd highly recommend not picking up this stuff without doing some research and looking for deals. I could have waited and gotten some really good deals on, you know, the PSP Go and the dock, but I got a little antsy and spent a little bit more than I probably wanted to, but I wanted to make sure I was getting products that worked and were in good shape and taken care of. Check eBay, check Mercari, check wherever you can and see if you can find one for cheap. If you can find these two things for less than, I would say, 80 bucks, you're getting a very good deal, and it's very much worth picking those up. Now, the reason you want to get that docking station, like I said, you can plug it into your TV. So this is kind of like an old school switch, basically. It just docks into the system, super smooth like. As long as you have those cables, you can plug it into your TV and you know, play all your PSP games on the TV. Since you can hack this system, you can pretty much play whatever you want on the TV. So it can be your Sega Genesis if you want it to be. And if you're looking to pick up a PlayStation Portable, I would go with the Go as the main one to look for and get if you're wanting to hook it up to the TV. If you don't care about hooking up to the TV, then definitely pick up a PlayStation, you know, any PlayStation besides the Street. I don't think the Street has Wi-Fi for whatever reason. Well, that's my opinion on the PSP Go. Have you guys bought the docking station? Do you like it? Do you don't think it's worth the price compared to the other PSPs? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to. And we'll see you in the next episode. Y'all have a good one. Stay retro.